Good morning. Hey, welcome to Tectonic. I'm Darren. Welcome back if you've already been here. If you haven't been here before, this is Tectonic Traveler, and we're following mountains. Hey, it's early in the morning, so haven't really done my makeup yet, my hair. But anyway, what I'm talking about this morning, well, it's early and a beautiful morning on the Eastern Sierra, and sitting here packing for another little training trip for the day. But I'm going to go over a little bit about tent camping, solo safety, being alone out there. And it's really important. And one thing I want to emphasize here, because I'm doing a lot of these videos right now, and it may seem like, I'm talking the dark side a lot, strange things and safety. But, usually I'm not doing videos like that. I'm out riding, and it's a lot of more higher vibrational stuff. But I think it's important these days especially, and this year, just to a lot of people out right now and getting ready to head out. So getting ready to bicycle and camp alone or, with a group, whatever. And some of the things I used to never worry about, I'm starting to just have more of an awareness about. And I try not to bring that vibration of negative, scared all the time, because that just kind of feeds it. But right now, I just want to talk about what I do in the tent at night lately and when I'm out. And so just kind of depending on where I am. Most places, I just set up the tent, crawl in, go to sleep, right? But it's regional, it depends on where you are. So, and if you're with someone else, it depends on if you're with someone else, you feel a little more secure. But also the other thing about tent camping is if it's good weather, a lot of times I'll just not sleep in the tent. I'll set out on my tarp or whatever, my pad, and just hang out under the stars, Or I'll leave the fly off the tent so I can kind of just see out. But most times, people don't do that. It gets a little bit moist, or whatever. It could rain, and you don't want to get out and put the fly on. So we're going to talk about what I do when I camp in my tent at night alone. And this is, welcome to Central Command. This is Central Command, and this is where I keep pretty much all my, I have two of these actually. Unfortunately, I travel a little heavy. I kind of cross the line, bike tour, bike packing. I'm a little of both. Sometimes I'm more of a bike tour person, loaded up with 100 pounds. And that's regional. If I'm in South America, it's heavier. And I'm going more remote for longer. I just carry more. And that's a personal thing because I'm filming and I'm doing things like that. But keep in mind, this is just suggestions. Some of you may comment, oh, that's a dumb idea or something. But, this is what I do. And it has helped in a lot of situations. Just helped again. But helped up in Washington with raccoons. Number one, raccoons. And let's talk about what I'm worried about, right? I'm not worried about people so much, but, that's why I'm making this video, is because things are a little different, get changing a little bit. So it's just good to be secure. If you're a woman or if you're just, just a guy like me, man, I want to be aware, protect myself. I'm not carrying a firearm all the time, It depends. That's regional too, I carry my protection. That kind of is regional, what I carry. And so, anyway, we're going to go over this real quick. Nighttime in the tent. A couple things that have worked for me lately is, and think about this: you're in your tent. If you camp, this has probably happened to you. You hear something outside. You hear something in the bushes, and it's like, or the branches are cracking. And your first thought is, oh, there's a person out there, maybe. And, 99.9% of the time it's a deer, or something else, a rabbit jumping by. I've had a moose brush up my tent. Let's talk about that later. But the smaller animals, they're cool. And what I do, and what I'm starting to do now, is I got that. Now, this is not the one I take. I have a smaller one that's being used somewhere else right now. But it's a Bluetooth speaker, right? You've got your phone probably, and you can get on YouTube and you can find noises like growling dogs and stuff like that. And believe me, this has worked. As a matter of fact, I just did it. I didn't know what it was. It was a deer. It ended up being a deer. It's worked for raccoons. And raccoons, if you're a cyclist, they're like the number one problem, especially on the West Coast. If you're California coast or Oregon or Washington, they're bad. So, and you don't want to really spray stuff all, that's like your last ditch effort to get rid of, to protect yourself is the bear spray. I carry bear spray. I carry an air horn. That's on the bike and in the tent when I go to bed in Central Command. I take Central Command inside the tent. So the speaker, the phone, YouTube, right? You hear something out there. Now program your phone what you want on there first. And growling, a low growl is really good. Low growl, not a barking dog, because that's probably going to sound weird. It usually sounds kind of fake, depending on the speaker. So again, pick a noise on the speaker, right? And if you feel like it's, not going away, then do that. Don't turn on a light in the tent. When you hear something, don't turn on the light. That's the last thing you do, because anything outside can see your silhouette, and that's not a good idea. So noises, that's the first thing I do. Noises. The last 2 years, it has been great, because I used to lay in my tent, and the raccoons would be up in the trees, and I've had a couple other animals I've scared away with it. Now, bears, in the bear story, I wish I would have had this, because this would have really, this would have saved me a lot of stress. All right, the next thing, I just did this. Okay, again, you can get smaller cameras, right? This is a Wi-Fi camera, and I take this. This is a tripod. If you're a cyclist, you may have one of these. I put my GoPro on it, and I put the camera right there, screw it on there, find a tree. Hopefully there's a tree around or something. If you don't have a tree, you can put it somewhere, close to the tent, but not where you can see it from outside very easily. Hide it, looking at the tent. Wi-Fi on your phone. Program the camera. Every camera, you can program it with your phone. I pay $4 a month to have this thing. I can stick it anywhere. I can stick this thing on the bike when I'm in the store underneath. Another great use for this as a cyclist, hide it kind of underneath. If I'm fully loaded and I lock the bike, but cyclists, you can't take your bike in the store all the time. So you get it as close as you can, put the camera on there. If anything, it's a good deterrent, but it works. I've been in the store shopping and just checked it a couple times. I carry this Roam Wi-Fi device. This thing, if you don't want to use your phone, it's Roam. You can get it on Amazon. I'm not advertising or making any money from them. There's a million of these things out there. So, bottom line, speaker, phone or Wi-Fi device, camera, your tripod. Now, this is not a lot of extra stuff, This I already carry anyway. This I already carry because I use it for my computer, my laptop when I'm traveling. This picks up any cell phone tower, the best one, strongest one, if your phone won't. And that's worked for me. I always have a few of these power banks. But yeah, that's it. Those things. The camera has been great because there's been a few times I was wondering what was out there, and I really didn't want to turn on the speaker, right? And I was more just testing it out. And it was a deer. I had a couple of the rabbit I told you about jumping by. Just a few things. Nothing big. This stuff helps, makes you feel really secure at night. Along with this and your personal protection, whatever you carry, your personal preference, and that. Start with this, right? Nobody's going to shoot bear spray through your tent. And if you're carrying a firearm, you're not going to shoot through your tent. So, yeah, there you go. Central Command. Have that stuff with you at night, camping in your tent, and you're ready to go. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And look for the bear story. It's still coming. But I thought this was really important right now because everybody's traveling.